In this lesson, we're going to solve systems by substitution. So yesterday we solved linear systems by graphing on a line, and where the two lines met at that coordinate, that is the solution. Today we're going to be solving linear systems a different way. We're going to be solving them by substitution. And let's think about what we know about substitution. It could be like an example of substitution could be something like substituting in a recipe where you're substituting one ingredient for the other. Well, in math here, when we substitute, we're replacing, and it's usually a variable. So we're replacing a variable with another value. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at solving this system using substitution. For number one, we have x is equal to 4, and then we have this equation where we have x plus y is equal to 7. And remember yesterday what we would have done is we would have then just graphed them both on a line and saw where they intersected and find that coordinate. Well, here what we're going to do is we're going to substitute one into the other. And in order to do that, you need to make sure that you have solved for one of the variables. One of the variables has to be all by itself. And in all the ones that we're doing today, they're all going to already be solved for one of the variables. So what we have here is we have x is equal to 4. Well, if x is equal to 4, what we would do then is we're going to then substitute in and plug in the 4 where we see that x. So what I'd have is 4 plus y is equal to 7. And then we're going to subtract the 4. And we see that y is equal to 3. All right, so now we need to also have the x. And usually we would plug it in someplace. But in this case, we were given what x was at the beginning. Because remember, we have to have a point, an x and a y. And we were told at the here that this x is equal to 4. So there's no substituting in to find that like you are for the other ones. So the solution for this one is we have x equal to 4. So we're going to have our first is 4 and our y is 3. So the point at which we would find that these two equations would meet on the line would be at the point 4, 3. All right, so number 2, I have y is equal to 6x, and then 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 20. So the first thing I would need to do in order to solve this using substitution is I would look to see, have I solved for one of the variables? And notice how this y is all by itself, and so that's what we mean when we're solving for one of the variables. So I have y is equal to 6x, so y is all by itself. So what we're going to do then, if y is 6x, we're going to take this value right here and we're going to plug it in where we see the y. So it's going to go in that place. So I'm going to rewrite my equation I have here. I've got the 2x plus 3, and now what we're saying is that y is 6x. So I'm going to replace the 6x for that y, and it's now negative 20. All right, so now we have to simplify and solve for that x. So I've got the 2x plus 18x is equal to negative 20. And now I can combine like terms here. So I'm going to have 20x is equal to negative 20. And then we're going to divide by 20. And x is going to be equal to negative 1. So now once I have my x, we're going to look to find the value for y. And I could plug it into either one of these equations up top here, but we can see this is clearly the easier one. The more simple equation is what I would then plug that negative 1 into to find the y. So I'm going to take my y is equal to 6x, and I'm going to say if x is negative 1, I'm going to plug it in there for that x. So I have 6 times negative 1. All right. Y then is equal to negative 6. All right, so once you have both points, the x and the y, the solution to this system of equations then is my negative 1 for x and my negative 6 for my y. And so this here, the negative 1, negative 6, is the solution to that system. All right, so question number 3, we have x is equal to 4y plus 7, and then we've got the equation 2x minus 6y is equal to 12. And we need to make sure that it has been solved for the variable, for just one of the variables. And in this case, it's been solved for the x. So what we're going to do is we say that x is equal to 4y plus 7. And so I'm going to take this right here, and that is going to go in the place of this x right here. We're just plugging it into there. So what I'm going to have is 2 times, and then our value 4y plus 7. And now I've got to rewrite just the rest of my equation here, because we just plug that in. 6y is equal to 12. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's just simplify and solve this one. I'm going to have 8y plus 14 minus 6y is equal to 12. All right, so before I do anything else, I can combine like terms. And I'll have 2y plus 14 is equal to 12. All right, minus 14. 2y is equal to negative 2. And then I'm just going to divide by the 2 at the end. And y is going to be equal to negative 1. All right, so now remember, we still need to have what x is. So what we'll do is we'll take what we have the value for y, we're going to plug in for x. And I think the easiest one for us to do here would be this one right here where I've already solved for that x. And of course, you can plug it into the other one, but it's easier if you do this. All right, so now I've got my x is equal to 4 times, and we're saying y is negative 1, so we're just plugging it in. And we have x is equal to negative 4 plus 7. So I simplify, and x is equal to 3. So now that I have my x and I have my y, I'm just going to, my solution to this one is 3, negative 1. So for this one, this equation, or these two equations would, graphed on a line, would come together at the 3, negative 1. All right, question number 4. So I have x plus 3y is equal to 37, and then I have y is equal to negative 3x plus 31. So now notice I have a y that's all by itself. I've got one of the variables all by itself. And so in this one, instead of replacing the x, I'm going to take this, and that gets plugged in to my equation where I have a y. All right, so now I have my x plus my 3 times, and again, that negative 3x plus 31 is what y is. So I have negative 3x plus 31 is equal to now 37. All right, so we have to then, let's distribute this here. I'm just going to have my x on the outside. So I'm going to have minus, so 3 times negative 3x is negative 9x, and 3 times 31 is 93 is equal to now 37. All right, so let's start here. And there's a 1 there. So I have 1 minus 9 gives me negative 8x plus 93 is equal to 37. So now let's get that variable all by itself. And I'm going to minus the 93 on both sides. And that gives me a negative 56. And so I have my negative 8x. And I divide by negative 8. And when I do that, x is going to be equal to positive 7. All right. So now we have x is equal to 7. All right, so now we found the x, but now we have to find the y. And you can plug it into either one. It's just going to be easier to plug it into this one right here. So that's why I'm going to plug it into that one. But you could plug it into the top one, and you will end up with the same amount, or same value. Negative 3x plus 31. And okay, so now we're saying that x is equal to 7. So we're going to plug in the 7 where we see the x. So y is equal to negative 3 times 7 plus 31. Y is equal to, so negative 3 times 7 is negative 21 plus 31. And now I'm going to combine those, and negative 21 plus 31 is going to just give me 10. So now I have the point at which these would intersect on the line. It's a solution to both. And so I'm going to write my x first, 7, and then my y second, and I write it as a coordinate, and so my solution is 7, 10. All right, so now this one looks a little bit different than the other ones that we've been doing, but the idea is the same. Notice how this one I have y is equal to 2x minus 11, and I have y is equal to x minus 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to then, again, I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to substitute it in where I see that variable. So we're saying y is equal to 2x minus 11. So I'm going to come over to where I see this y right here, and that's where I'm going to plug it in. All right, so we're just substituting it in. So for this y right here, then I'm going to have the 2x minus 11 is equal to x minus 8. Now we're solving an equation where we've got the variables on both sides. And so don't forget that if you're solving an equation with the variables on both sides, you have to start with those variables. So I'm going to minus this x, or you could say 1x if you wanted to. And I'm going to have x, or 1x, so I'm just going to leave it as an x, minus 11 is equal to negative 8. All right, so we're just going to isolate the variable by adding the 11. And in this case now I have x is equal to 3. All right, so now we need to then come back and pick either one of these. It does not matter. I think because, you know, there's less to do for that one, I'm just going to pick that one, and I'm going to plug in x there. So I have y is equal to x minus 8. And I'm going to plug in this 3 where I see the x. So y is equal to 3 minus 8. And so y then is equal to negative 5. All right, so now that I have my x and my y, I'm going to put it in as a coordinate. I have 3, comma, negative 5. And don't forget, your x has to come first and then your y comes second. All right, in our last example now, we have at a local gym, you can either pay $90 for a monthly pass and then pay $4 each time you decide to go to the gym, or you can pay $13 for each time you go to the gym. All right, so we're going to write and solve a system to determine how many times you would need to attend the gym in the month for the monthly pass to be equal to the each time you go. So we're looking to see how many times you'd have to go for both of them to be the equal deal. So let's take a look at this. So we're going to have two equations. So this first one, the first gym, they charge $90 for a monthly pass, and then you pay $4 each time you go. So that's going to look like you're going to pay your $90 for your monthly pass, and then you're going to pay $4 each time you go. And so we're looking for those words like each, every. That's the one that gets the variable. All right, so that's what that equation is going to look like. Our second equation for the other gym, they just pay $13 every time you go. So they don't pay an upfront fee, but they are charging $13, which is considerably more than that $4. So we have y is equal to 13x, because there's not a one-time fee. They're not paying that. So now let's take a look and let's solve this system. And notice how we have both of them solved for a variable. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this one and I'm going to plug it up over here. And it wouldn't have mattered if I had taken the 90 first. It does not matter at all. So what I have is I have my 13x is equal to 90 plus 4x. All right, so now let's get our variables together. And I'm going to have 9x is equal to 90. All right, so I have x is equal to, I divided by 9, and x is equal to 10. So since we were saying that x is equal to the number of times that people would need to go to the gym, that after 10 times, you would then have the same amount that you'd pay for being a member and not a member. So since it's 10 times, notice if I go and I plug in a 10 here, I get 10 times 4 is 40, and 40 plus 90 is 130. And if I plugged in 10 here, I have 10 times 13 is also 130. So going to the gym 10 times, you're going to pay the same amount as being a member versus a non-member. So in this lesson, we took a look at how to solve systems through substitution.